Um. Okay.
Good?
Yeah, I think we're good.
Okay.
Let me check here. You want to just check if it's up real quick for me?
Yeah, do you have like a link?
No, but I could grab one, I suppose.
Yeah, I think we're good.
No, it seems like we're good.
Awesome. Alrighty. Well, here we are at the Pokemon Generations tournament discussion thingy that we've hyped up for a while, and we'll figure out which one's the best and also worst, potentially.
Okay.
So we'll start with 4 and 7, of course.
Is Daniel streaming?
Yeah.
So he's recording it.
Oh, I can't,
So
I can't see it.
Well,
is
it's
it
not
on
like you really
Twitch?
need this. Yeah, you don't really need to see anything. It's just being like recorded, so you can like listen to it later if you feel like it. It's all on record.
What's the Twitch stream?
Barbiter 2, so Arbiter, but it starts with a B. Jared is crazy about Pokemon and Pokemon card collecting.
Yeah, it's true.
One day.
I would start off by saying that I don't like the islands in Gen 7 at all.
No one says anything. That's where
I agree. I agree.
We're done here.
I'm done. We're done.
Yeah, I don't remember many of the locales. It feels more segmented.
Well, it's always an island with a thing in the middle that blocks you from walking across it.
Yeah.
And you just literally go in a circular path around it one way.
That's kind of true, yeah.
Except
Are we ranking each individual? Are we ranking each individual Pokemon too?
Not every. We'll do that later, maybe. This is just
a
a comprehensive what you think of. But it's everything that goes into that generation. You can even bring up like different games and stuff. But, like if you want to bring up the mainline games, like the region design, the Pokemon designs, the main campaign, the post game.
Yeah, I'll put
basically
in
the games, I guess.
And I'll talk about like context, not like what other things happened inside that generation as well. I have that pulled up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, stuff like that. So I can't even think of what else they did. And so I mean, 7 had the trials obviously, which was different. And then you were the champion or whatever at the end of the game. So which was a different take. I wouldn't say that change of structure was bad. They obviously didn't keep it very long. It was kind of a one-time thing. I don't know what you guys think of the trials.
I think it's effectively no different.
Yeah, it's kind of like they had a gimmick puzzle thing. I think some of the trials, did you even have to do any battles? I don't.
Puzzles.
Yeah, there was one specific one right at the end that everyone hates. With the painter lady, where you just gather like the 7 flower things or whatever. Or no, that's the remake of it. Sorry, in the first version, she just goes like, I don't really. Oh, am I?
Fuck.
Am I cutting?
Am I cutting out? I don't know. It might be my end.
What was I cutting out?
You guys are all here good to me.
Okay,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, but I remember there's the last trial of the game, basically. Like, basic one on the last island, Pony Island or whatever. Where it's just... She says, like, I have to get back to painting or whatever. Here's the trial thing. It's like, I hate this.
So there weren't, like, typical, like, gym battles with felt a little off sometimes. Just my full-on experience. I felt they had some interesting thing. They had the battle mode. What was that again? I forgot.
The tower at the end?
Are you talking about the tree? Like the battle tree or something?
Or the quadra battle. They added quadra battles, I think.
What?
So there could be 4 people playing on their own teams, and they have to attack.
Oh yeah.
different
Oh.
I forgot about that. Yeah, yeah, you're right. That was kind of a toss-away mode. I never really got anything out of it.
It was, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it was too fair and great, but it was interesting at least.
Yeah.
For a lot of the generation, I felt like I didn't unlock a lot of things because there was still a lot of construction when I left the game.
Yes.
So other things, they had a rip-off Pokemon Snap, which didn't do well at all.
That was just kind of annoying.
I vaguely remember that. Yeah, because they tried to like harken back to that, but yeah.
Yeah, they had some style stuff, which was cool. They had bottle caps, which was interesting. I'm not sure I liked that idea. I don't know if that was in Gen 6, or whatever. There was... Yeah, but I feel like some of the styles were kind of cool. I just want to go through some of the games that were in 7 real quick, since we're talking about 7. There's Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee. Detective Pikachu was a thing during this time. Pokemon Rumble Rush, Pokemon Magikarp Jump, that class.
Oh my god, I just remembered that.
Pokemon Master Sex.
Master Sex.
Yeah. I still don't know what Pokemon Master Sex is. You know, whatever.
Pokemon
Master, it's like an app.
Is
Actually, you're set, right?
Yeah.
What game? What of the main games have you guys played or not played in Gen 7?
I have not played Let's Go.
Me neither.
I haven't either.
Who wants to play that?
How dare you say that? I had more fun with Let's Go than I did with Gen 7 regular.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't doubt that. But I would say Gen 7 is probably just like the least likely games that you're ever going to return to.
Yeah, there's someone, I think only Daniel and I have played Sun and Ultra Sun, or Moon or Ultra Moon or whatever. And the versional differences are so minimal. I barely remember. I know the story is different. I know it has like a different outcome, kind of, but it's also kind of a retelling because it uses the same characters. But the game itself felt so much the same. I will say, Ultra Sun has really awesome post-game content where you go to like this. It's not like a mansion. It's like this house or whatever. I don't even know. You go to like different rooms, then you fight all the past bosses of the bad like teams.
So
like,
the Battle
Giovanni,
Mansion, right?
Battle Mansion or something. Yeah, it's
Yeah, that's
Giovanni,
from Gen
Getis. Oh no, it's not that. Then it's not that. It's from Gen 7. I know it's from 7 because I did it with my Incineroar team.
But I think it's like a copy and paste from Gen 6.
I wouldn't go as far as to say that. I think it was pretty original. It was like the post-game content. Like it was. Daniel, did you end up doing that?
What?
Like the post-game of Ultra Sun, like where you go and fight all the past bosses like Cyrus, Maxi, Archie, Giovanni.
Yeah, I mean it's a fun little thing. It's probably one of the most fun parts of the entire game.
Yeah, I guess you could say unfortunately it is, because and they're like hard trainers, they're like hard trainers. Like they have like 5 or 6 like well-trained Pokemon that are high level, so it's like, you know, actually enjoyable. So that's like the only thing standout I know. I actually kind of want to replay Ultra Moon, just like to re-experience it to see if I get anything else out of it. But like, yeah, looking back, it wasn't too exciting. I don't think it's exactly worth playing both unless you're like a hardcore fan. Otherwise, yeah, just play the Ultra ones. They're better. So.
Yeah. I guess.
Ever so slightly.
I just, I wouldn't even say that. I would just say they're like the same game, and I don't care what's happening. If anything, I maybe like the first one more because at least I just get to experience all the new Pokemon. Like,
yeah,
because it's barely streamlined any better. It's the same game.
Yeah, I can't even. I feel like some of the trials were the same. I don't even remember if they were different. Like they were the same people, so I don't I don't even remember.
You
if that
fought.
was
You
like,
fought.
Stand out.
You had. There's new legendaries, so therefore, I mean, they reworked some of it, but it's basically the same.
And there's new Ultra Beasts and stuff. So what do you guys think of Ultra Beasts?
Well, I kind of look.
I like some of them.
Ultra Beast for the coolest new mechanic.
I kind of low-key love them.
It felt both like an abomination, but also I liked a couple. So I mean, I don't know what to think, to be honest.
Yeah, I liked a couple. Cartana,
Yeah.
Pheromosa.
We love
Buzz
Stack
Smash.
Attacker.
I think Ultra Beasts were some of the more memorable Pokemon from that region that people still talk about.
Yeah,
some of the other
'cause,
Pokemon
like-
are still good.
Also, that's part of the storyline.
Well, it helps that they're also
It
like
is a big part of the
really
story,
strong competitively.
Because, like, nobody
Yeah.
talks
Oh,
about Delmise.
Delmise?
Yeah, or, like, Bruxish or Togedemaru. Like, nobody remembers them.
I mean, they're used.
I remember Togedemaru was on my team. I always tried to use the Pikachu knockoff since well, not always. I didn't use Morpeko for Gen 8, but
Yeah.
I like using it just because it's stupid.
Yeah, since we're
So-
on the topic, I wrote down some of the more memorable things that happened with the Pokemon. So they added Alolan forms. What did you guys think of that?
Oh,
I
yeah.
didn't like most of them.
Yeah,
You don't
they're
like a
a little
Alolan
bit
Persian?
different.
What are you talking about?
Alolan Persian, dude.
Like Vulpix and Sandshrew got the best of it, and then the
Yeah,
rest were
Vulpix
kind
is
of
one of the
I
best
mean,
ones.
to be fair though, Alolan Persian is straight up like a good Pokemon compared to its
That's
normal.
true.
Like which
Yeah.
is really
Bring it up.
problematic.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it's like while it looks like a fucking dumb beefcake, like they literally just
Yeah, it does,
they
yeah.
just took the thing, painted it gray, dark gray, and then just made the head a straight orange. Like
Yeah.
You
Gen
made it
7
Garfield face.
Gen 7 did add my favorite mythical, which is Marshadow.
yeah, you would like
Marshallow's
Marshadow
Oh,
cool.
Marshadow.
because you're an edgy little boy.
And it has my favorite
And-
ability,
I forget what its
Zero
ability is.
Aura,
Offhand.
Technician.
Oh, yeah, I guess.
Technician's great.
It doesn't even use Technician that amazingly. It has
right.
it
Not
has
like
it,
Scizor
it
does,
has
but-
a it has a good Shadow Sneak.
Yeah. I mean, that's really strong.
Mhm.
I mean, it's Uber, so I mean, it's like banned, but
Mhm.
it's still cool.
Yeah. What do
Other
we think of
Pokemon
starters?
that I wrote. Oh yeah, I thought the starters were kind of strong. Actually, looking back at them, there's Rowlet line, there's the Litten line, and then there's the Poplio. Yeah,
Yeah.
Poplio.
I would say it's a decent starter gen. Like not everyone loves Pheromosa and not Pheromosa, Primarina,
Primarina?
and like
Yeah, Primarina.
it's not like people absolutely loved them. I feel.
Yeah.
I mean,
They're
I
not
think people
the
do.
Popularity heights of 3 and 4
It's
for one.
Probably my least favorite starter line.
Does it really beat
Or
out?
one.
Does it really beat out Gen 6 in
Yeah.
the worst?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
It-
think it's
I-
worse than
it's-
Gen 6.
Oh,
You might
that's
be alone
weird.
in that.
I don't think I can agree with that at all.
Yeah. I
Like,
think
they're-
7s are solid.
I
Wait,
think
what?
Incineroar is nearly as bad as
Let me check
What's his
the. Oh yeah, 6 ain't
Chestnut.
too
Chestnut.
solid.
Yeah.
6 ain't too solid, boys.
I
I
mean,
love-
Go ahead, Grant.
I loved Poplio, but then the moment Poplio evolved, I stopped liking Poplio at all.
It's
And then
yeah.
um,
I actually
then
don't mind that line, really.
No, I don't either.
I never liked Litton's line at all. It was just very edgy, and I wasn't terribly interested in it. However,
Disappointing.
I do adore every single phase of Rowlet's line.
See, I think what my problem is with it, is that I do really like. I don't mind. I like the first and I like the ends for the most part, but
Sure.
the middle stages are like they're normally kind of weak, but they are extra weak this gen.
They're
Like
Yeah.
it's like Populo literally gets a color change and looks like a female version of itself, which is cool if it
Yeah.
just was the female, like the gender swap of itself, because that would have been dope. But I'm like, there should be a bigger jump. Like the jump shouldn't be just from the little baby seal to the full on like mermaid
that's-
seal. Like it should. I'm like, this was dumb. And then like
For-
Litten just was like a slightly more aggressive cat. Torcat or whatever,
Yep.
and then
It
the
is.
owl just was a slightly different owl. Like,
He gets bigger
I-
and more fancy, I think.
Yeah, so for the Rowlet line, it's like tiny cute orb, which I like. Then there's like the posh, like owl thing, and then it turns on full on dweeb with a hood and shit. I'm like, how do those two go together? I thought it was going in a different direction, but that's just me.
I think there's like something that bothers me immensely about each final evolution in this generation.
I don't like him. Barrick knows that I am a fierce disliker of Decidueye.
Yeah.
His weird big feet and
I think
legs.
he's one of the worst Pokemon designs that's ever come out of Game Freak.
I think he's very busy.
Yeah, he's really busy, and I don't think he has any distinct things that look good. I don't think like the Robin Hood aesthetic is a bad idea. I just don't think it worked.
Yeah, it looks
Yeah.
like some weird hoodie, and he's like going to a convention or something. That's
Yeah.
He's a cosplayer.
The proportions are just goofy.
But so for me, when I think about it, though, if he looked any different, like if he had a bigger body, I think it'd be worse.
I don't think the thing is that I think the design is just a bad idea.
Yeah, I think it's like flawed from the ground up. I think
Okay,
like you have to like reconceptualize.
Let's stray away from like just
I'll-
jumping
I'll-
on one Pokemon
Yeah,
because we have to.
I'll just say, I'll just put in my 2 cents. I think I like Decidueye. Obviously, you guys don't agree with that, but I don't know. I like the hooded archer aesthetic. I like how he just pulls out a string and he like makes arrows and shoots arrows and stuff, and I think he's cool. But it's whatever. So
He's one of two.
He
Yeah,
has
so-
a good in-game like aesthetic. Like he has some cool moves. I don't know. I picked him, so yeah.
yeah, I like the whole line personally. But anyway, yeah. Let other Pokemon that are notable from that
I'll
generation.
go
And,
through what I thought was notable, like the best and the worst. And I tried to be kind of unpartial, but we'll see. So I thought Alolan Marowak was kind of cool. I thought the starters were kind of strong-ish.
Alolan
We just
Marowak
talked
is
about
great.
that. There's
Yeah.
the Salandit line. There's Pyukumuku. Type Null
That's
was
the
the
one.
only Pokemon that actually scared me. And
Scared?
then there's Mimikyu, and I think the fairies are pretty good.
yeah, Mimikyu. Yeah, there's some really strong designs. I think overall it's got a lot of good Pokemon.
And
Yeah,
then-
I would say like
Yeah.
the ones that I thought were like pretty good. Like Serena is okay. The Salandit line is great, and that's like
Yeah,
that's
I really
probably
like
my
Slash.
favorite.
Mhm.
I really don't like Toxapex, like
Oh, I love
both from
Toxapex.
from like a competitive standpoint and from a design standpoint. It's just another spiky thing that's really annoying in competitive play.
Ooh, I'm still trying to find it.
Toxapex?
It's just a
Yeah,
spiky,
it's the one.
weird thing.
It looks like an
That's-
umbrella, like top of
And
an
it's
umbrella.
and it's unreasonably strong, like everything that's spiky and
It's a very strong
Bunker.
Pokemon. Yeah,
Yeah, I used it in my Ultra Sun plythrough.
it has a really good
Nice.
ability. It's a
Mixed
solid
my team.
Pokemon.
Yeah.
I'm really trying to find it. I just can't.
Lycanroc is like okay.
Found it.
I'm surprised. I don't know.
Rock is cool.
Lycanroc is super. Like I like Lycanroc Dusk or whatever, Night
Mm-hmm.
or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
The Night form's
Yeah.
cool because it's very distinct looking. It's very werewolfy. It's very new. But like the other versions, it's just like, well, now it's a wolf. It's just a wolf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's a rock
I think-
apparently.
I think it's sort of like inescapably Neopet-ish.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, you can get that. So,
Ribombi
and
is
then,
good.
so for some of, oh yeah.
Hmm?
And then I had a list of some small bad ones. We talked about a Alolan version. Crabominable, I think is abominable.
No, he's so great.
I think it's ironically great as well.
Yeah, I think it's very
Okay.
good.
There's Comfey, which is a boring,
Hey.
weird design.
Hey,
And Ultra Beast we talked about. Okay, sorry. I knew I was gonna maybe. Okay.
Mhm.
I guess last thing before we go back to 4, because we also need to talk about 4. I guess the last thing I want to talk about, like to bring up again when we talked about in the beginning, is just the geography of the region in the game.
Yeah.
Like when I think about those islands, I remember Mimili for some reason, and I don't know any of the other.
One's
like,
Pony, I believe, and I might be lying.
Yeah, Pony. Yeah. No, and there's like the ice. There's like a mountain somewhere, and that's where the league is. Like
That's on the third
the region
island.
doesn't stand. Yeah, it's on the third. That region doesn't stand out to me at all.
Yeah,
And it
It should
shouldn't.
have a Lowland
Really
Executor though.
boring.
It's amazing how boring the Hawaiian Islands are.
Yeah, like I agree. Wasn't there like a surfing mini game? Do you guys remember that? Like,
Yes.
That might have been just Ultra Stun though.
It
I
existed.
don't remember. Yeah, it was
Gen
kind of weird.
7. Gen 7 also has one of the weakest pseudo legendaries.
Getting
Oh, yeah, Komodo?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's very okay.
Kinda-
Like it's a perfectly
Very
fine.
flexible.
It's fun to use. It's not.
I used them.
I don't love its design, but I don't hate it. I'm just kind of like, well, this isn't the coolest one.
Other than
Yeah.
Hydreigon,
Yeah, I
though.
agree.
It's really hard because pretty much every other generation has done it great, like perfectly.
Except for Gen 5.
Gen 5. What do you mean? You don't like
We'll-
Hydreigon?
Hydreigon sucks.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that in the next round.
All right,
But-
Jared,
so
you
let-
no
let's-
longer have a valid opinion to me anymore.
Hydreigon is so dumb.
You're so cool.
Any
It's a
last
Hydra.
words, from anybody, and then we'll go to 4.
Well, I mean, I just hate the
Four.
the game's just really boring and slow. It handholds you the whole way.
Yeah,
and prevents you
there's
from enjoying
something we
yourself.
Yeah, I know. Something we overlooked. Now that you mentioned that, this is a huge flaw. I know Grant and I both complained about this. All the trainer battles in that game, they only have like 1 or 2. Like, there's no Pokemon that have like 3 or 4 like trainers in the game. The battles are over in a snap, and the routes are pretty short. So, but it had exploring areas and stuff.
It's
so
get a cutscene at the
it's
start
a-
of a
yeah.
route. Talk to How at the start of the route. Run to the end of the route. Talk to How again. Walk to
Yeah,
a next
yeah.
route. Do the same thing. Walk up to a trial cave path thing. Talk to How.
Yeah.
Walk through 2 seconds of a trial. Watch some Marowak dance. Kill a Marowak, and then do it again until the game is over.
Yeah.
I remember when starting playing the game, someone got mad that you had like a permanent XP share attached to your party.
Oh yeah.
Like
Yeah, it was new-ish.
Yeah, it was new. I thought it was like fine, so then you could like level up your party without having to do weird shuffling around and stuff. So I was like okay with that.
Yeah, because it makes the games easier.
Yeah,
Like,
but
they're already pretty easy.
yeah. The villain I thought had like a I like the aesthetic of the Aether Island, to be honest. But
Yeah, like that ties into the story and and Team Skull, of course. How could we not mention Team Skull?
oh, Guzma.
Actually good. I like
Yeah, maybe the best part about the generation. Maybe
Yeah.
one of the
Yeah,
best
Guzma
teams
was
overall.
yeah,
Great,
and the music was really good.
It's just
overall soundtrack.
It's just very fun. Soundtrack's
Yeah.
great.
yeah. So
It had the base to be a good game.
it did.
Mhm.
Yeah,
It was
just had
close.
some. Yeah, a little bit
Like-
more maybe.
Like that, I do love its story. I think its story was the first one that I truly paid attention to the plot points, and
And you regretted that.
it was it worked very.
Mhm.
Yeah. All right. So I guess we could talk about 4 now, which I think for a lot of us is highly nostalgic. At least it is for me.
Yeah, I think it's just a little nostalgic.
Yeah. So this one.
I'm glad we talked
My
about
first-
Gen 7 because
Yeah.
we all know that we're all just gonna vote for Gen 4 and
Yeah.
Well, because what is it? Gen 4. I mean, the soundtrack is perfection. I just listened to some of that music on loop, and it's just. So
I'm
good.
currently listening
It,
to it
it
on
has
loop.
that. Yeah, it has that DS charm to it, and it's timeless. I don't know, and like the what's interesting about this region too is all the add-ons they made to older Pokemon and kind of gave those Pokemon new life too. So
Yeah, some for the better, some for the worse.
Can I talk about the fact that this is the generation where they fixed one of Pokemon's biggest issues and did the special split?
Mm.
And then so the game just became instantly more fun. Because now not only were there different types of moves that actually could be easily interpreted, but it was also you could also use a Pokemon to their best potential. Like now everyone what's a good example? Like Gyarados finally doesn't have to can use Water Stab instead of its special attack for water. Like
flying moves or
Like it just
right, yeah. That was a big. I kind of going back to the older games. I didn't even know it was split like that. Like I just kind of didn't pay attention. I just played the game. But yeah, Diamond Pearls where it made that big.
Yeah, I didn't really notice it as a kid either.
Yeah, so it's kind of crazy.
And I even played it the whole time. I just didn't know. I just assumed it was what I thought. Like I was just like, yes, this sounds like a special move. Same. It's a special move, which I think is silly.
This generation definitely suffers from legendary overload.
I know quite a few.
I liked all of them except three.
I don't like the lake spirits.
Oh, lake spirits are useless. Yeah.
they're like okay, and Heatran is horrible.
Get out.
Grant,
Heatran's like one of the worst designs.
How dare you? I actually genuinely love Heatran. It's very I can see why you wouldn't like it, but
yeah,
I feel like it's very Pokemon-y. Like it's very simple, but it's very it's distinct in its frame, and it's I don't know. I like it as the very it's like a big lava gecko thing.
As a kid,
I would say I like Regigigas less.
Regigigas is overpowered. Regigigas is How
great.
Dare you say that?
It's a unit.
There's so many legendaries though. Yeah, I loved the Who remembers anybody else go to the Cresselia Island and then do the walk anywhere glitch to get to the Darker Eye Island?
Well, yes, of course we did. We all did that together. Don't pretend like anyone else did. Did anyone else do this?
I hope for the remakes they kind of embed that in the base game and just have you do that. Because that game too. This game was that reminds me just with this event. This game was actually terrifying. Like going to that haunted house and seeing the floating man and the little girl in the rotom and all that. Like the eerie music. Like it was actually portraying horror in Pokemon, and no other game. I don't think any other Pokemon games actually scared me. Unlike that game.
Yeah, no, that was it was genuinely
yeah.
I wouldn't say frightening, but it was unnerving
Eerie.
for sure.
Yeah, it was eerie. Yeah.
Eerie now.
So, yeah. So,
Grant, what you thinking?
I'm thinking the underground.
Arby's.
Yeah, underground is pretty legit. Lots of good mining.
It was a game of poisons. I didn't particularly love mining. I liked the social aspect less because I thought it was good, but more because it was just funny.
Yeah, there wasn't a good way to push that unless you had friends nearby.
Which was the commodity at the time for this game, so it wasn't ever hard. I think I spent a lot of time down there, really. Because remember how the one quadrant of the map you have to is completely separate from the bigger area, so you have to go underground somewhere else in the region to actually access that part of the underground.
Oh yeah. That was really annoying.
It kind of was, but it was also kind of cool because it was
it was always just one of those situations of which it'd be I'm going in the underground, and then someone wouldn't say where they were when they went underground, so then everyone would drop, and that'd be okay, why do I see your signal in the completely different quadrant? And then whoops.
Yep.
Worst was dropping in Celestial Town, whatever it was called.
Where you would just be in that little shitty L shape, I think.
Yeah, the little lightning.
Oh, yeah.
That was the only place you could make a secret base if you really wanted it to be secret, because no one would ever go to it. Nor would you.
Was this anybody's first mainline game?
No.
I think mine.
No.
Other than
a lot of you guys started on GBA, right?
Yeah, I did.
Yep.
I didn't
Wait, no,
have
that's
GBA.
not true. I started on Game Boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I started Gen 4. I was kind of spoiled because this was, I felt like a really solid generation. Like, looking back at it even.
It's definitely a good starting point. It's where a lot of people started. I mean, technically I started with XD, so I knew all the Gen 3 Pokemon and older. And then 4 just brought all those back and then added newer ones onto some of those. And, you know, to erase all the older ones. So
yeah, I did some, a little bit of, like, maybe a tiny bit of Stadium, and then I did some Coliseum. So yeah.
Yeah, Coliseum's still good. Anyway, so starters for Gen 4.
Okay. Yeah.
I love the starters of Gen 4. I think all of the lines look good.
They're all good.
They are.
They're all distinct. They're all interesting.
And the
you got a monkey, a turtle, and a penguin. Yeah, and they all work.
Evolutions make a ton of sense when you look at them. It's great. Like it's clearly like evolving into better things. Like
I'd say they're all pretty equally solid. Maybe as much as Gen 3. My favorite would probably still be the Chimchar line, but that was because it was the first one I picked.
Mm-hmm.
I would say
really I could switch between. If I had picked any other line, you know, first, like if I had picked Piplup first, I'd probably like that line more. Like they're all just objectively good.
I'm relatively impartial to them. I love all of them pretty much. Except I did hate Preston's Infernape for many years.
Oh.
because we all played like poop at the time. You know, Preston only had to click Coast Combat and my Empoleon would die.
Oh,
yeah, that was the interesting. See, that's why I didn't like Empoleon, because Empoleon
he looked very. He looked
at each other. Empoleon would lose.
Well, yeah, because
the steel weakness and the ground weakness.
Well, no, Empoleon just had to run anything ice, and Torterra died.
That's true. I mean, realistically, yes, but like if you're just thinking of what.
I mean, yeah, if you're running their straight types, but even then, maybe because Torterra doesn't hit that hard, weirdly enough.
Yeah.
No, but it's just silly because Infernape is just so much better than the other two. Also, he's one of the 2 fire types you can get.
Yes.
Yeah. I never even noticed that as a kid, really.
Yeah. Because I had Infernape, so.
Good stuff.
Go ahead, sorry.
Oh, let me go through like all the games that were in Gen 4 real quick.
Oh yeah, it's only got the literally most prized ones.
Most of the best ones. So there is Platinum. So they didn't do like a separate Diamond Pro thing. They just made Platinum, which was nice. They had Heart Gold, Soul Silver, Pokemon Battle Revolution, My Pokemon Ranch, Pokepark Wii,
Pokemon Ranch, baby,
Explorers Time, Dark Sky, and Pokemon Ranger, Shadows and Guardians.
I just got Pokemon Guardians or Ranger Guardian signs yesterday. I haven't played it yet, but my GameStop had it and I bought it.
Nice.
So, yeah.
But yeah, we played Battle Rev so much, and
yeah, it was cool because it was the old idea of Coliseum of bringing the sprites onto the big screen and seeing all the animations and stuff. And because it was made by Genesect Sorority, which is the same team that did XD and Coliseum. There's a lot of kind of overlap with that in the animation, so
yeah, it's I'm still surprised they haven't.
It's a solid time.
Like they didn't make another thing like it for a while.
I think because like they did 5 and then it was kind of an in between. You know, they could have maybe done like an updated version of that to have 5, but then when 6 had 3D models, they just didn't bother.
Yeah.
And now on the Switch, it would be superfluous. Connect your Switch to another Switch to do big battles. They're all, already in 3D.
And then you go, yay!
It's a product of its time. Like, you can't redo it. You can't redo Battle Revolution, really. You can do XD, maybe, like a campaign based with Shadow Pokemon, but you can't do, like...
I guess, I don't know.
You can't connect your games to get other...
Well, I mean, like, with the 3DS and stuff, I thought it was very fair to do it still. But, I mean, now it's mute, because now we play it on Switch.
Yeah. I think, like I said, I think it's the 3D models. I mean, yeah, you'd have it on the TV, but...
Oh, yeah.
Like, yeah, it would have been cool. I would have minded like a Wii U version or something, but... Yeah. So, what else to talk about? Yeah, no, there's some solid spin-off games and all that.
I think it has one of the... It also has a really strong villain team. I mean...
Yes,
Galactic is fucking hilarious if you read their dialogue. Like it's
it's amazing.
They have great
The writing was
themes
really
and
good.
music. They're generally just funny to follow.
Music,
They also
I like all the bosses. Yeah.
They do some crazy shit like blow up a fucking lake.
Yeah.
Oh
That's
my
like
god. I
That's
just
like-
fucked up so hard. What am I doing? I'm
Also, like, Cynthia was, like, the most badass, like, person ever.
Oh yeah, Cynthia's a great character, great champion. So.
And I really
Good
liked
trainer.
meeting the champion at the start for some random reason. Like, that was cool.
Yeah, some of the
She's
other
probably the
Pokemon
best
do that too, yeah.
champion.
Yeah, I think she easily
Yeah.
Iconic.
rivals.
Steven is also cool, but
Steven, I like Steven. I was gonna say Steven's probably my other
Yeah.
favorite.
Yeah, Steven Stone.
I can go through what I thought were highlights for Pokemon real quick, I guess. So they added a lot more evolutions. So think of like
Rhyperior.
Rhyperior. They added like Macargo.
Macargo. That's
No, not Macargo, but Magmor.
Mortar.
Magmortar.
Yeah, Magmortar, Electivire, Yanmega, you know, Licky, Tangrowth,
Yep.
Magnezone.
Yep. Togekiss, Yanmega. And then also added Leafeon, Glaceon, Gliscor, Mamoswine, Porygon Z, Gallade, Probopass, Dusknoir. This was a big gen to just add on top of previous
They
gens.
haven't really done that since. Yeah.
They have.
I mean, there's not a lot of reason to, but they haven't really done that. And that
Yeah,
was a
that's
big
a-
just add on.
Yeah, that's a
Which is
whole
fun.
slew of Pokemon, which is crazy.
Yeah, it's
oh
a-
yeah, Weavile, like
Miss Magius.
Mantike,
Yeah, some of those add-ons are like some of my favorite Pokemon though.
Bonds?
Munchlax. Like
Yeah, I really like the
Milo,
addition of
Lucario,
Mime Jr.
yeah, Mime Jr.
Mime Jr.
Like there's so many like Chingling, Honchkrow, yeah. There's just a lot.
But is it maybe there's a lot of add-ons, but maybe that's like also kind of like when you take just the original Pokemon, maybe there's not as many. Like, when I think of like original Gen 4, I just think of like Weasel,
Weasel.
I think that was
Pachirisu.
Cherim.
I think that was kind
Yeah,
of clever
Pachirisu.
because like they added love to previous generations, but then also they could just incorporate the earlier gens easier, so then they didn't have to add as many Pokemon, kind of.
Yeah. It is the generation with Bronzor, so it is.
It's got easily one of the best pseudo legendaries. Everyone loves Garchomp.
Oh yeah, Garchomp.
Frickin' Garchomp.
It's hard
is,
not to love him.
One of the, yeah,
Yeah.
he's one of the, like just a land shark. He's just one of the best Pokemon.
Yeah.
to-
All around, a lot of fun legendaries.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
thought the
Darkrai.
legendaries were strong.
Giratina I love. I like Dalgia and Palkia too.
Like the main trio from the box arts are all really cool and are distinct and interesting new Pokemon. Darkrai and Cresselia are the menaces to VGC that they are. We love them. Shaman, Sky, and Knot are both terrifying.
Like it's just a little puff of grass as jogged, and it's
Yeah.
a legendary.
It's a
It
puff
just makes
of
me-
grass and it's not even bad.
Yeah.
And then what is it? The Lake Guardians are all really cool.
They're really cool. They're not.
They're
useful, but
kind of the weakest link, I would say. Only
Yes.
because they really heavily resemble Mew. So they're not as like fresh, but I still thought they were cool. They have really cool themes. They're all just kind of different basic psychics, which is kind of lame. But then there's
There's so many psychic Pokemon. Yeah.
there's my boy Reggie Gigas, who I love, even though he's the most cucked Pokemon in all of Pokemon. And all,
Yep.
and then
Fucking
there's
God.
it's just like
yes.
literally God Arceus, who's technically not released this generation, but is this generation.
Well, there was the you could hack for the flute item.
Like you could hack and get him, but he was never officially released. But he's a Gen 4 Pokemon.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
which is
then
weird 'cause
lastly
you
is
think about the majority
Heatran,
of
which
people.
I personally fucking love because it's super fun to use Heatran in competitive, and I just kind of like the design of Heatran.
So I want to go over some Pokemon highlights as well. So Bidoof, Garchomp, Carnivine, Rotom was used a lot in later generations.
And the
Shinx
changing
and
forms.
Lucario was the big Pokemon of the generation.
Oh.
Lucario.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Lucario is a big
designs.
one. Yeah, Lucario might be a negative though. Just because of what the community has done to it.
Too much of it.
Yeah, 'cause he's a
This is
furry,
why we
yeah.
can't have nice things.
All the favorite Pokemon are furries.
Yep. Zeraora, Lucario.
Incineroar.
This game is known better than Dad Lopunny.
Oh, Lopunny. Oh.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah,
God.
Lopunny is corny as fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, its Mega Evolution gets like ripped tight.
Yeah.
That's what I like to hear.
Yeah. I will say Gen 4 though did have the HM overload. 8 HMs, right?
Yeah, Gen 4. I mean, luckily
And,
you got B-Barrel.
Yeah, something we didn't mention about 7 was, remember, like the workaround for HMs was you just summon the Pokemon. You have the Machamp carry you like a baby.
Yeah.
Oh, that was gross, but like it was a good idea, but it looked off.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they just like come out of nowhere. It's like, did they really need to add that kind of traversal when you're just summoning other Pokemon? Because like, I feel like with 4, it's kind of almost like a puzzle. Like you have to fit it into your team, and it's almost kind of makes it harder. Cause, like,
I agree.
how useful is Rock Climb, but you know.
Oh, I was just gonna say I said that back in Gen 7, but then no one decided to acknowledge that. So
Yeah, we just don't want to listen to you, Grant. I'm sorry.
yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. So.
I will be honest.
But,
I don't like most of the legendaries from this generation, but
You're wrong.
Yeah.
like, I don't think,
As long as you like,
I mean, I can
and Darkrai.
I think it's very heavily stylized, so I get it.
Yeah.
I need to go over my Pokemon sins. Oh, the only one I have is Abapom.
No, we love him.
I'm sorry.
I hate him.
You're telling me you don't like the perfect Pokemon?
I have nothing against Abapom.
That's what peak performance looks like, okay?
You're telling me you don't like a Pokemon where Headbutt will make you flinch every single time you land?
Well, it doesn't have Serene Grace, so...
He's got Utter Hands. I don't like it.
No, I know. I'm just making a joke for Daniel and I's playthrough. That's not actually Ambipom, but for some odd reason, Ambipom just made every single Pokemon flinch every time I used Headbutt.
Yeah. Mismagius is one of the better ghost types. I like Mismagius.
I also do like the big one, Dusknoir.
Dusknoir?
Yeah, Dusknoir is cool. What about the trainer designs, Dawn and Lucas?
Lucas is horrible. Dawn is good though.
Dawn we love. Lucas, I don't think has aged nearly as well.
He's very basic.
I think Lucas is okay, but I picked Dawn my first playthrough, and she's probably my favorite female trainer of all time. Like
I like Diamond and Pearl Dawn. I don't like her platinum design with like the pink skirt.
You mean the pink coat?
Yeah, I like her with the coat and the scarf.
Yeah.
No, she's wearing. Wait. Sorry, you like the platinum design, not the diamond and pearl.
Oh, that's the platinum one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the platinum one. The diamond and
pearl.
Yeah,
no, that's. I mean, it's just the clothes,
and I don't like it.
Like
she's 10. Stop.
I remember they changed the trainer designs to wear the clothes because it was like I thought it was gonna be winter and there's gonna be more ice Pokemon, so I picked Chimchar again instead of picking a different starter. So I used Chimchar twice. Good times.
Nice job. Nice job.
Yeah, still have my original Platinum playthrough and my Diamond and my original Pearl game that doesn't work on any hardware older or newer than a DS Lite because I hacked it so much. That was something that we did that didn't really happen as much in Gen 5 was we hacked those games to death with action replays. And those made for some iconic times. So definitely some good games. I guess I was just gonna mention like the geography. I think the towns are really good. I like Canalab City. That's my favorite city. And they had that empty house that I would go live in because like whoever was there leaves later on.
Oh, the gym leaders were so strong. They were so strong.
Gym leaders were good, yeah. I could like think of all of them. Like they're really good. Shining the badges. Okay, ready to vote. I forgot about this badge shining. Now, does anyone else have anything else to say about 4?
No, we're just gonna all unanimously vote for 4.
I think that's
what do you mean? Barrick loves Pokemon Sun.
Well, here's the thing. You know, there's people out there. There's people out there that prefer 7 to Gen 4. I don't know any of those people. I'm not.
I wouldn't say Gen 4 is my favorite. Like I wouldn't say it's the best, but
I'm talking.
I don't think it's my favorite. Yeah. It's just really close to it.
Mine. I was talking about between 4 and 7. I was saying somebody like.
No, I know. I'm not saying it's unbeatable.
We'll see where that gets.
But I mean, it's a really great gen. It has a certain style. It has such a consistent style, and it's a really good playthrough. The way it makes you move around the map is very fun and engaging. Because you like move around the
HMs.
Like because of how the HMs work and just how like backtracking and shit in that game goes. It's like really fun to like you don't take a straight path, you don't do a weird loop, you don't do just a simple branch. Like it's a full like weird loops and lines, and it's
I agree.
Certainly one of the most dynamic gens.
You get to reuse like every town.
Yeah, it's really fun.
You revisit places. It has I agree. The flow is so much better.
Maybe
Gen 8.
I would argue it's got the strongest music in Pokemon.
It totally does. It has to.
Probably.
I agree.
I would
it's so good.
Probably like there's so many good tracks and like I really like I like 5, but I mean like I prefer like 3 and 2's tracks a lot.
Good too.
But like
5 and 2
it's really hard to not love Gen 4's music.
Yeah, it's
I don't know, it's just it looks really good, it plays really well, it's very replayable. Despite not having fire types, the game doesn't feel like it's missing them.
Yeah.
To me, weirdly enough, I don't know. It's just fun.
I'd say the biggest issue is the processing or whatever is going on to make the game really slow.
Yeah,
as we know, Diamond and Pearl. I think Platinum fixed something.
Platinum fixes it for the most part. Yeah, it's still slow, but not nearly.
But yeah, it's like freaking surfing is so slow. HP draining is slow. Attacks are slow. It's a nice looking game, but the way it runs sometimes in battle or on the water is bad.
Are we still talking about 4?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but that said, I look upon 4 much more fondly than. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. The game, like, the game itself is slow. Like it's just.
Yeah.
Really.
And then, with the remakes they'll fix that. So.
Maybe.
Or if they don't,
it looks like it's already being fixed. Like your movement speed seems a lot faster.
Oh yeah. It's also not on it's not 4 directions. It's
that's
it's at least or multi. Yeah, that's interesting. So.
A lovely design quirk is just because of how the characters stand. Everyone looks like they're the thickest characters known to man.
Yeah. I love that though. Yeah, you have to fit a full person in one block.
Yeah, it just everyone just looks mega thick, so it's really great.
What's weird is Gen 5 they stretch them out.
Yeah, they figure that out.
Still looks good. Yeah, but 4 it's like they literally moved from the GBA where it looked a little more normal to the DS, and they just make them chub. And now we're getting that kind of.
It looks great though.
Oh, it does. It's kind of when I think of Pokemon, like I don't know, I kind of think of the Gen 4 art style.
It's a very. I don't think it's not even my favorite art style. But it's still like undeniably great.
I really like the look of Gen 6, personally.
I think it looks fine. But
I like we'll get there. We'll get to that one.
We'll get there.
Yeah,
so,
but
I guess we'll all name off what we want here.
We have to go
officially
one by one.
Officially have
officially
to
declare.
Wow.
I'll tally them up. I got a little whiteboard here with the bracket.
Okay. So.
Yeah. All right, Preston. What you
I've played both games. It's probably the only time that's gonna happen. I'm gonna say 4.
Okay, 4. Okay, Jared.
4.
Daniel.
Of course it's 4. There's no joke here.
All right, Grant, I'll put you down for 1-7. Is that okay?
Actually, I'd like to change my vote to 4, please. You know.
Okay.
It's
All right, that's a unanimous 4. I can't not vote for 4 against 7. So, okay, 4 has moved on to the next round.
Wow, what a surprise! 4.
Congratulations. Oh, depending on interest, I was thinking losers bracket would be fun.
I almost feel like you should have put like 7 and 6 or 7 and 6 or 7 and 8 together. Because we're all really impartial to them, but we know that would have been a more interesting conversation.
Well, see, that's what would be interesting in a losers bracket, because Grant and I, we did the seeding for this, kind of. So it's kind of to put the highers against the lowers at first, so then if we can revisit them later, in that way. That's the reason we did that. And plus, this was random, too. So.
I mean, no, it's fun. I just think it's a very...
Yeah. We can come back to it. So.
Because imagine if 4 had beaten 3 in the very first round, then that wouldn't be very telling of how good 3 truly is. So that's why the obvious loser.
I'm so excited.
Yeah. So, well, that maybe took like a.
Well, what is everybody's favorite gen out of curiosity? I think mine is 3. So.
I think we'll get to that as we go, because I honestly would probably say 4 for me, maybe 3. I'd have to think about it. We have to talk about 3 later on for me to really relive that. Because
true.
Barrick just wants to milk subscribe.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So. Do we want to do so? Depending on timing, we probably might just do one more tonight. If you guys wanna, we could do 5 and 2. Or if you were more interested, we could do 8 and 3, or 6 and 1. We really could just pick the next one.
It's really I mean, I'm not doing anything right now.
8 and 3 does not sound interesting.
I think Sword and Shield would be.
I can talk. The thing is, I can talk a lot about what I like about Gen 8, and then still vote for 3.
Yeah, right. I mean, that's what's interesting about these discussions. So let's just do 5 and 2. Let's stick with
that sounds interesting.
Because this is a good one, because these are both older classic games. And this is also where you have to start to consider the remakes for 2. Like, I personally am going to include Heart Gold and Soul Silver in the discussion.
Well, you should think about them, because it's still...
Yeah. It's the same game.
Because like if we didn't, if you didn't
incorporate the best version of the game.
Because if we didn't consider those for Gen 4, they have to be for Gen 2.
Yeah, we didn't talk about it all for 4, so. Because that would just make 4 even better if you just loop like a really good DS game of Gen 2 and a lot of people's favorite for some reason. But anyway, we'll get to that. So I guess we could start with 2 then. I guess since we're already talking about 2, if we want to talk about between 5 and 2.
What the fuck? I just got Zapdos.
Are you doing like Showdown?
No, I'm playing the Pokemon TCG game.
Card,
yeah, I'm playing the Trainer Card game, and I just got a fucking Zapdos and a booster pack.
That's funny.
It's not even that good. That's terrible. It's 4 energy for a 40 attack. What the fuck?
Wait, really? That's dumb.
That's terrible. Oh, I got a Moltres. This one's good though. 4 energy for an 80 attack. That's actually good.
Yeah,
dude, that's misrepresenting it.
Alright, everybody go around and say one thing you like about Gen 2.
It's got my favorite. It has my favorite city track. I like Violet City a lot, and like that's
a good one.
It fucking claps cheeks.
Gen 2, you go back to Gen 1. That's pretty good. Is Gen 1 particularly amazing? No, but it's more post-game content that adds 8 more badges. And,
even though you do those badges and the time it takes you to do the first 2 badges.
Yeah, they're pretty lightning fast, but it's still fun to revisit Kanto after the fact and the Giovanni, Team Rocket kind of narrative. And the Pokemon follow you around. Pretty sick.
Yeah, it's a very visually appealing game.
Yeah, it kind of just looks better than Diamond Pearl Platinum because it's the same thing, but you have that. And then a little more fine tuning, perhaps.
Well, one thing you like about Gen 2?
I only have touched Coliseum, but I gotta say a lot of these Pokemon are very strong, classic designs, and it's a really strong generation for Pokemon, I believe.
Grant.
I already said mine, Pokeathlon, dude. That
Oh,
thing was
right.
sick.
It was
Yeah,
really
side mode. Yeah.
bad. I really like the protagonist designs. They have really cool, like, classic 90s anime art style.
They're both really good. I don't know which one I prefer. They're both pretty solid, though.
Yeah, I think they're
I like
both
Ethan,
great.
and but I like the girl a lot too. I mean, so so yeah. Let's go through game experience because Preston, did you mean Stadium 2, like on N64? Because Coliseum is Gen 3.
Yeah, I mean, I got to see a lot of them in Coliseum because that took up like at least half of the Pokemon you use in Coliseum. It felt, but
Bayleaf, yeah.
But yeah, I felt like Stadium 2 was a really solid game in itself.
Fun times, yeah.
Yeah.
I have played through the beginning of Crystal, the original. I need to play more of it, but my main experience is obviously with the remakes. I played Heart Gold first time, picked Cyndaquil, and then I replayed Soul Silver at least twice with both stars. So, what about you guys? Have you guys played Game Boy or DS versions to completion? I think, like Daniel, have you ever beaten Gold or Silver or Crystal?
I like how you so
you have them, right?
Yeah, no, in terms of play, I've played Gen 2 a lot.
Yeah.
Like Pokemon Crystal was probably my favorite game growing up before I really started playing with you kids. I thought it's such a aesthetically it's just so much fun. It's just a really great time. It has great pacing for the most part. The Pokemon are fun, and I don't know what it is, but they just revamped Gen 1's like everything, and it looks fun. It's like the best possible Gen 1.
Yeah, especially from the Game Boy perspective, right? With Crystal, like if you're gonna play a Pokemon game on Game Boy, you play Crystal.
Exactly.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it's just so much fun. Yeah, I played.
You've played Soul Silver, right?
I played Soul Silver and Heart Gold multiple times over.
Because you rebought Heart Gold again, right?
I never had Heart Gold. I would emulate it.
But I thought you got like another cartridge again.
No, I bought it. Yeah, I bought it recently.
Yeah.
Again, because I never owned it. Because I just owned Soul Silver forever. That was true for Platinum for many years, but I got Platinum in like high school.
I remember that. Yeah, you were just on Diamond.
Yeah, I had Diamond and Pearl immediately.
Oh, I didn't even know you had Pearl. Actually.
Yeah.
No, maybe I did because when you, I feel like you would like maybe let other people play it. Maybe I don't know.
I would. Pearl was my throwaway game. Diamond's the file I still have my original on.
Yeah.
And
that's reverse for me. But
I really don't. It's pretty terrible. Whenever I go back, I'm in physical pain.
Well, that's the whole point.
Oh yeah.
So, classic. And then, Grant, as far as I know, did you play the Game Boy ones at all, or did you just play Heart Gold?
I played both Game Boy ones and then Heart Gold.
Yeah, because you used to like have Gold and Silver, didn't you? At one point.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, Jared, you ever play the originals? I know you probably played them on DS.
I've played a lot of Crystal. Not all of it.
Yeah. I still played all of it either.
I've also played most of the remakes, but not all of it. I can't get through Gen 2.
That's interesting.
It's interesting. So, yeah, so how would you get to like the Elite Four? Or do you at least get past?
Yeah, I get burnt out when I go back to Kanto.
Yeah, which technically, I mean, what's funny is Daniel Brandon and I did a playthrough of where we did like a randomized Gen 2 playthrough. I think we just kind of stopped playing when we got to Kanto because Brandon kind of fell behind, right?
Brandon fell behind, but I finished the game.
Well, did you beat Red?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Remember,
I didn't beat Red.
I cheesed my way through victory on Red. I got a Pokemon that could resist his Pikachu at the start, and then used X attacks and shit or whatever to just pump myself until I was unkillable, and then ran through his team.
Yeah.
Solid. Yeah, I didn't even know that because I think I got all the gym badges, but then I stopped because everyone else stopped. So
I got all the gym badges, but I've played that game about 12 times, which isn't much compared to Gen 4 and Gen 3, but like I've only gotten through Kanto maybe 4 times. It's just always the point where I lose so much interest. Just not a lot.
I don't think I've not beaten Kanto if I get there.
It's all different.
yeah, I think that's
It is. It's so fast that I don't mind it because it takes me like it's sad because it's like I can be done with it in like an hour.
Yeah. It's just I feel no satisfaction beating any of the gyms after that point.
I agree.
So it was a bit of a lull.
No, I agree.
It's like a lull, but it is, but it's like better that it's there than not. Because I mean, a lot of people look back on that really fondly, like, and just having all the Kanto like regions in Pokemon design. Like, there's like, just exploring the region of like I have access to all of Kanto in the game, and Johto. So it's just like the world is just the biggest ever, really. So it has that going for it.
Oh yeah.
So like I said, played through them a number of times. What was I gonna say about? I didn't like how you had to fly to the middle to fly to the other regions.
Yeah, that was a really, really annoying thing that they never seemed to really figure out. Yeah, that was just annoying. I wouldn't really put it that much against the game.
It's not like a flaw,
it's literally just because of how the game like physically can't run the two generations at once. So like the two maps. So it has to figure out a weird way of doing it.
Right. I found it kind of hard to actually build a good team though. At least on a Johto Pokemon. Like it was kind of dumb that Houndour, really good fire type or whatever. You can't find it until you actually go to Kanto.
That's really fair.
When I played through Soul Silver the first time, I was trying to build a team kind of. I just ended up getting level 60 for Alligator. I don't know what it was. I just ended up tanking my starter. I didn't really end up making a good team. I think it's kind of hard to build a team in that game a little bit.
I could see that. I don't know if it's hard as much as that. I would say maybe it doesn't flow as fast as others.
Yeah.
I personally don't have that opinion of it. I can see why. Mostly because a lot of the ways to make interesting Pokemon means you have to kind of go out of your way for them.
Yeah.
Steelix. Yeah, for instance, you can do the Steelix if you catch a Magnemite or thief a metal coat from a Magnemite early on.
Mm-hmm.
You can get.
It would be really fun to just use a Steelix really early on.
Yeah, no, I did that. Recently-ish. I had to restart my game 100 times. I threw a total of I caught 500 Magnemites on the 5% chance for it to have a metal coat.
That's ridiculous.
And it didn't have it until then. And then I just was like, okay, now I have a Steelix. And then I rolled the whole game over. But even though Steelix isn't that great,
right?
He's good, but he's not perfect.
I think you're roll the game over.
What?
I think your Darkrai might have helped you.
Yeah, that was a really helpful Pokemon to have in the early game. Ominous Wind wasn't a really great stab because it wasn't even a stab move. But when I got the the stat boosts occasionally, that was great.
Yeah.
But no, I mean I just think Gen 2 is kind of priceless. In a really weird way. I think in terms of taking out nostalgia to me, in terms of just being a game, I think Gen 2 is maybe the best. Just because
is that including the Kanto though?
Yeah,
is that heavily influenced by it?
Kanto is just the post game, essentially. Yeah. But it's just cool. I don't know. I've always just loved how the generation feels as you make your way up through, and then you go to Goldenrod, and Goldenrod is so cool as a kid. I feel like a weird thing that's lost in the DS remakes is I feel like you almost see more on your screen at once, and you can see everything in more detail. which almost takes it away from me in some ways, which is really weird because everyone fucking reveres those games, and I still think they're the best way to play it. But like, if I just want to sit down and enjoy myself, playing the original is just very fun. It has some of the best challenges for a Pokemon game, especially early on, because it just has some big power spikes, which could be seen as a flaw. But I genuinely enjoyed that I had to spend more time in a lot of the areas as a kid, because that's something I feel like I had a problem with in a lot of gens, is where I would just get to somewhere, I would zoom through it. And there's a lot of that. There's a lot of those towns in Pokemon.
Yeah.
It's only when I stop and start joking around do I really experience most of the towns in their full. Or the first playthrough nowadays, now that I'm not 10.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. Once you kind of know what you're doing with Pokemon, I feel like you don't stick around in the towns as much. You just kind of move on to the next objective.
Yep.
So I feel like you kind of, when the games you play when you're younger, you get more out of them because you don't exactly know where to go. Or it's like Gen 8 and there's nothing to do and you just keep going in a straight line. So.
Gen 8.
Yeah. No, yeah, you bring up a lot of good points about Gen 2. I think if you were to just take, not including the post-game, though, because, let's, real quick, even though this isn't the right comparison, if you could do, Gen 4, just the mainland, obviously there's, the upper island, which we didn't even talk about, but, that post-game island up there.
Oh, yeah.
And then you do, all of Kanto. If you just take the first part of the game, though, I think Gen 2, it's kind of standard. I don't get as much out of the main campaign as I would, maybe Gen 5, even.
That's fair.
I think it's kind of just, it's Team Rocket again. So, and there's not even you don't really know about Giovanni or anything, so you don't even know what's really going on. I can't even really remember any notes of the story from Gen 2, really.
Oh, that's fair. It's a really weird story. I think that's fair to say. Gen 5 has one of the strongest linear stories you can just follow.
Yeah,
Gen 2
stories I think really.
Gen 2 definitely doesn't have the grand overarching plot. I think that comes a little bit to do with the Game Boy era-esque shit going on.
Oh, yeah, that's justified.
Yeah, it's a product of that.
Yeah,
it's just because
I guess there's one cool
you're
thing,
basically just exploring. It's just weird because it's a game that's trying to explore kind of weirdly deep values, but in a very limited format. As you literally see, the dying Team Rocket. Just trying to struggle for a purpose, but it's really kind of weird because then it comes off as very, there's in a slowpoke well cutting and selling tails, and it's very comical and kid-like. Because it's really hard to take it seriously when you walk up, especially in the remakes, when you walk up and you just see a slowpoke, and then it's just this is a joke, right? And the guy falls down and hurts his hip.
Yeah,
it's there's a lot of character to it without also what is it? There's so much character to it without showing it, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
It's very old school funny humor. But the story, more accurately, it's just it's more you just have some cool points that happen. You have little tiny quests, but there's no big story, which I can see as a big turn off.
Yeah. I think some of the lore stuff they kind of don't go into very much, but isn't Silver the rival, the red-haired guy? Isn't he Giovanni's son or something?
That is the very heavily implied.
Because I want to say in Whole Girl and Soul Silver, it wasn't DLC, but I think it was an event where you would see flashbacks of them arguing, and the reason he goes off to against Giovanni, and it's there's some neat stuff there, some of the not mainline stuff that really interested me. And what's cool about Black and White as well is they kind of did the same thing with the fact that Black and White 2 are sequels. The old trainer has moved on, and that's the person that you were, and now you're the new trainer, and he was the champion at one point, and you don't know where that old trainer goes. I just think that's interesting.
Oh no, that's fair.
That's the canon story.
Okay, I'm gonna do my bit, even though I haven't played the games. So in Generation 2, the only 2 side games, this is the least amount of side games scrolling through this list. It only has Pokemon Stadium 2 and Pokemon Puzzle Challenge. Granted, it does have Pokemon 3000, the movie, which is pretty
3000?
solid.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't even really talked about the anime. I mean, you want to go back to Lucario and the Mystery of Mew, the one I saw a million times as a kid.
Powerful.
Yeah.
I really like Gladios Latias, but that's not this gen.
What is it?
So much stroke.
Oh, yeah.
Latios and Latias are from Gen 2, aren't they? No. Or am I making that up? Are they Gen 3? I thought they were Gen 2.
What? No, they're Gen 3.
They're Gen 3.
The legendaries for this gen. This is a gen without
Just the dogs,
legendary.
right?
It's the dogs and it's Ho-Oh and Lugia.
Yeah. That's modest.
So-
You know what? All the legendaries
And
are
Celebi
really
is the
good.
last little
Celebi.
guy. Yeah.
I would say I like all the legendaries.
They're all.
Yeah.
They're
It's
all
a.
perfect, but they're all good.
It's very early gen.
Celebi
Yeah.
is the weakest, but
How dare you say
I
that?
mean, Suicune, no. And Lugia. Shadow Lugia. Not Gen 2.
It's
but
funny because
Lugia.
I liked Lugia more as a kid, but realistically now I like Ho-Oh more. Just because Ho-Oh's
agree.
just a.
I like Heart Gold better if I had to pick the two, yeah, but yeah. He's kind of a big fire chicken, but he's also pretty dope. 'cause
I don't know. I think he's a very well designed looking angry bird.
Yeah. He's angry, yeah.
He is truly the Angry Birds of video games.
I'm also gonna go through like some key points of like Pokemon that came in. So they added Psychic and Dark in this generation.
Steel and Dark.
Steel and Dark.
Oh, Steel and Dark. Oh, right. Okay, you guys are more on top of
Both.
it than I am.
Both good types, though.
I agree. Sorry, I said Psychic and Dark because of Espeon Umbreon. They added those two evolutions to this
Umbreon's
gen.
my favorite.
They also added Dark and Steel this generation, and Steel was actually a menacing type this generation.
That's weird.
You just said
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
I
that's
know.
what we're talking about, yeah. Steel was good.
Yeah, but Steel's actually
Yes.
a scary thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's
Um,
technically true still all the way up until 6. So
I don't know if we talked about starters yet, but
Nope,
I
not
thought
yet.
they were very strong mind game. I'm sorry.
I think
I-
they have the weakest starters,
they're okay.
but I do appreciate Cyndaquil because I know as a kid I thought Cyndaquil was the cutest thing.
Wait, did you say weakest?
I think
He said these are the weakest starters, yeah.
Whoa.
they have the weakest generation of starters, but I do remember loving Cyndaquil. I don't like more, but I did once upon a time love Cyndaquil, so like I do know that there is still a good side to some of the Pokemon. I just don't see it now.
Yeah. In the anime, it really helped the Pokemon along, I think. Just a fuck ton, because they're, like, very heavily featured, all of them. So, like, Chikorita was, like, a moody, sassy thing. Cyndaquil was, like, trying his hardest. And Totodile was always a doof.
oh yeah.
Yeah, they were definitely charismatic. I think they're solid. I don't know if I'd say they're the weakest compared to
Definitely not.
maybe like 5 or
Generation
6.
6, 7, and 8 would like to speak with you.
I might put 7 over 2, but I think 2 is
What?
still up there. And my favorite line is
Putting Incineroar over 2?
I was gonna say, I think 2 has one of the most like.
Primarina dog?
I think Typhlosion
Well,
is, like, really
The
big.
problem is in Gen 6, Gen 7, I like at least one line in both of those. I don't like any lines in Gen 2.
You don't like Feraligatr or Typhlosion,
Yeah,
or
both of those are perfect.
I don't think that they're bad, I guess. So maybe they're not bad like Chestnut and Incineroar.
that's crazy. to
But
me.
I don't enjoy them at all.
I feel like
Yeah, there's,
Totodile.
there's no bad line. you know?
Like to me, I
think
feel
that's,
like Totodile, especially like the Totodile for Alligator line, is like the perfect Pokemon line. Like
I
it
think
has
it's pretty
a
solid.
solid
I like
first,
it. I
second.
prefer Cyndaquil.
It has a solid first, second, and third.
I didn't like Crocodile as a kid because he just looked like a big.
Crocodile
alien.
looks a little
Not
goofy,
bad.
but he's very cool.
He's
Yeah.
not bad. No, he's really not. I mean, I think retroactively looking back, I do like the Totodile line as well. I think Totodile's a great first stage. I think it's the best of the three. I just think but I love Cyndaquil too. I think that whole line is really solid, even though he just gets bigger. I think he's awesome. My favorite of those is the Cyndaquil line, but Totodile's probably close second. Well, and as a kid, Bayleaf, it was my favorite Pokemon for some reason. I still love Bayleaf. I think it's a great middle stage. I think it's the best of the three.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, yeah, maybe. I mean, I don't know. I love the Decidueye line, but yeah, I probably prefer like Totodile and Cyndaquil lines to either Incineroar or Primarina's lines. So yeah, I don't know. It's probably like they're probably about even for me, really. I guess at that point. It's an enigma, but
I'll go through some more Pokemon stuffs. I enjoy other things. There's Tyranitar and Swinub. That's what I have for good.
yeah, I would say those two are both.
I thought you were gonna compare the legendary, the pseudos, and then you just go Swinub, and I was like, what?
Swinub. Sneasel's good.
So I feel like a lot of people kind of hate on the Gen 2 Pokemon because there's not too many of them, and they aren't crazy.
It's 100.
But I love them.
A lot of my favorites.
They're like none of them, like all of them are just, they look good. They're cool. Like they're very, once again, it's very, very early Pokemon. Like there's no, I don't think from memory there's a really bad design.
Yeah, they're all diverse.
I'm trying to think. We don't like Smoochum. None of that.
Smoochum and Tyrogue were the two I was gonna say.
Yeah, the Smoochum. Tyrogue's cool because it allowed Hitmontop. That's about it.
Yeah, Hitmontop. Yeah. Pineco.
Okay, I love Pineco and Fortress.
I'm not mad about them.
I think they're really weirdly
bad. I'm just saying Pineco.
Pineco is weirdly great. For some reason, people love to use Sunfloras. I don't really understand it, but it's a thing I've noticed.
It's got the best two evolutions.
It has a very strong little evolutions. They're very just dynamic
They're both
looking.
so good. My favorite is Umbreon, but I do like Espeon.
It's hard to hate the cat dogs.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just has such simple Pokemon, and I really love it.
For the longest time,
it's literally just
for some reason.
What?
I was gonna say for the longest time, 2 kind of blended between 1 and 3 for me. Like I would like if Pokemon was Gen 2, like if it didn't fit one of those, like it was just kind of weird in between. But
yeah, you literally just mistook a legendary Pokemon in the wrong generation just a minute ago.
Yeah,
Latios and Latios, right? Because when you mentioned the movie, I'm like, that was around the Celebi one, isn't that Gen 2? Yeah, no. Yeah, because I remember, Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire had the freaking Mega Latios and Latios and the thing. Yeah, right. So, Gen 2, I guess that's the only thing for me, is the Pokemon, like, they're good, but they blend with 1 and 3 for me, because those two are just so iconic.
Yeah, it's weird that you say that, because I feel like, it's weird because they blend, because I feel like they just fit in.
Yeah, that's another good point. They do fit in with the
They
other
just
ones.
fit.
1 through 3, all like when you go to the Gen 3 games, which is Gen 3, but Gen 3 has all those Pokemon, and it feels like they all could have been made at once. Like,
I think
feel like
a really big thing
part of one game
is that Gen 2 was supposed to be the original last Pokemon game.
Yeah.
Right? And like the style was literally just be like, okay, we have one game, let's make another and improve on it. Right?
Yeah, that's true.
So
that's
I think it's
like a sequel.
It's just, to me, it's just Gen 1 plus, like Super Gen 1.
It is really.
Like, it would almost be like playing the Black 2, White 2, or like, you know, or the Emerald or whatever version, like the Supreme version. It's almost like Gen 2 is just Gen 1, but on steroids. Right. And running at full brain power.
Yeah, I'd go on record saying 2 is better than 1.
I'd also say that.
I would agree.
There's a lot of memorable side games, so we'll talk about that.
Oh, yes, the casino. Gen 5 sucks, no casino.
Yeah. Any last thoughts on Gen 2 before we do move over to
I think I'm good.
It's a really strong music. It's a very musically strong generation.
Yeah, not as much as 4, but it's good.
Yeah, I mean, it just can't beat 4 in terms
Yeah.
of the orchestral soundtrack that it was.
It does get the honorary S tier because of Bellsprout Tower.
Bellsprout Tower is cool. It's a game that
locales are cool.
It's a game where on a fucking Game Boy it looks beautiful. Like it looks good. It sounds good. It's a really good game to play through. With genuinely good challenge for a Pokemon game, and that's something I really miss. That I don't think Gen 5 has, because we're about to talk about it.
Gen 5. Maybe slightly more, yeah, I'd say. Last thing about Gen 2, yeah, I would say the challenges there, especially if you want to beat Red. Like, you gotta have a good-ass team. So.
I mean, okay, if you want to beat Red in the remakes, it's hard.
Yeah.
If you want to beat Red in the original, I don't think it's that hard. Because you can do this thing called Catch a Snorlax, and the Snorlax in Gen 2, you just need to have... It comes with Curse. All you have to do is teach it Earthquake and Body Slam, whatever it has. And you can go beat Red with no items and nothing. You just Curse on Pikachu, and you just run through his team.
Yeah.
And it's hilarious because the Snorlax is even lower leveled than them. It's just that Snorlax is so strong, and then that game, like, yeah, it's a power boost because like you end the gen, your Pokemon are maybe level 50, and then his are in the 60s, right?
Yeah.
So you have to grind up compared to how they do it in Heart Gold, Soul Silver, where you end the gen, your Pokemon are in the 50s, and then it's like, all right, now beat a level 88 Pikachu with a light ball.
Yeah.
Which is the easiest part.
I'm just going off the remakes, yeah.
Which is the easiest thing to do, but then you have to fight everything else on his team.
Yeah. Good times. Generation 5. So, what I found particularly refreshing was the original games were 150 new Pokemon, soft reboot technically. The pixel art and graphics were amazing. The way they evolved from Gen 4 to Gen 5 and on the DS was really good.
Yeah.
Music's really good. Story's really good. Starters are solid, I would say. I just really like the game. So, what else do you guys have to add to that kind of cluster truck I just threw at you?
I don't know what it was about this game, but when it came out, I hated it.
Me too.
I know.
I looked at it and I went, I'm not buying this new Pokemon game. I bought it really late.
Part of the reason was that. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I don't know. You might actually remember something I don't, but should be interesting to hear. But like, something was off to me about these games. It's very. I think we talked about this a little bit earlier. Me and Jared were talking. And it's very industrial. The whole setting of Gen 5 looks odd.
Yeah,
it's like it's both it's like
ugly.
It's both the prettiest and worst looking game at the same time.
Yeah, I think they added a lot more 3D in it for sure.
Yeah, like
remember Castelia City running around the different alleyways?
Yeah,
like the stereoscopic like 3D.
It's like it's like Gen 4 had little 3D elements to it. That looked good for the most part, but Gen 5 they really try to do the perspective stuff, and it looks really weird to me a lot of the time. This Pokemon generation has a lot of scrutiny for its designs. I am unequivocally biased and love them all now. But I love every Pokemon a little too much now.
Right. What I was gonna say before is I thought maybe part of the reason you didn't jump on it right away was that like, when Black and White was new, it was all new Pokemon and there weren't any ones. Like, what did you think of that when it was first that way?
Well, it's funny
Black and White came out?
Because like it's funny that that's the case because I still loved Gen 3, which is pretty much all new Pokemon itself.
Mostly, yeah.
Like this.
Not completely though. This
not
game
completely.
Is completely new.
Yeah, not completely, but like mostly. Like it's a full.
Because there were so many new ones in Gen 3. Yeah. Like there was like 100, almost 150, right? Like there was quite a few.
There's a fuck ton.
Yeah, like Gen 3 had a lot, but Gen 5 it was 150 new Pokemon. You wouldn't see Pikachu or anything older until after the game was done.
Yep.
Yeah.
In the originals. So yeah, because that was kind of controversial at the time. Really, I know there's plenty of people that don't like that. I think it was refreshing.
Oh, I think it's
almost
great.
wish they'd do
I
it
think
again.
it's really fun.
Because looking back, it's its own thing, and it's great.
It looked like Gen 8 was gonna do it, and then they seemed to cop out on it at the last second, which was a shame.
It'd be so hard for them to do that again unless they really go under, but which I don't know. A lot of people think they are, so we'll see. But and then of course with the sequels, you had the older Pokemon, and I thought that was actually really refreshing as sequels. To go back, they added the new areas. I made a new team with some old Pokemon and some new ones. And I thought it was a good continuation of the story too, because like I said, there's the lore with like the old trainer, like he's been through his adventure. Now you're a new trainer, and Cherrim and Bianca are older now, and they're doing different things, and you get to go through this new story. And what is it? Team Plasma's kind of coming back, so I thought Team Plasma was good too. I thought the villains were. And N is a really intriguing trainer because he's like kind of an anti-hero, I guess, or he's like a villain, but you think he's a villain, but he's not. He's kind of weird.
Yeah, this is
like everything off about him, but
this game has a very strong little story going on. It's very human for Pokemon. It's very in depth for
Pokemon from being trained.
It's very interesting.
I would probably argue strongest story in this series. Black and white.
It probably is, and I think that's. I don't know if I would give it a lot of huge credit for it, only because
you don't play Pokemon.
Pokemon game stories are really lackluster. Yeah. I have never been one.
When you're comparing it to when you're comparing it to the other games, there's not much.
I mean, I think. Yeah, it's probably the strongest. If I had to compare it, it's probably very on par with things like 4 or 3. Yeah. Just because I feel like those had story. I'm trying to think. I guess actually technically 7 had a story, but I really didn't care for it. Really did not care.
7 was good. It was better than 6 maybe, but 5. I don't remember 6's or 7's very well. I remember 5's a little bit better. So.
I unfortunately remember 7's, and I wish I didn't. It's just not interesting. But
no.
Gen 5 has really good music. Did you know that?
Fantastic music.
People really like it.
The drift. What's the 5th town? Driftville, right?
When you roll into Driftvale.
That's a banger.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just a very.
I think it keeps.
Which I think is a great lead-in to say. There's a lot of legendaries with really good themes. I do dislike a lot of these legendaries in the end. I like the genies a lot.
For the Sacred Sword guys.
The swords are just lame. To me, I mean, like, they're fun Pokemon to use. They're not fun to look at. They're some of my least favorite designs.
I kind of like Cobalion, but
he's the Cobalion is probably the best.
Yeah, I think I might agree. Cobalion, or I also kind of like. I was gonna say Virizion is probably my favorite of the swords. Terrakion just looks like a bowl, and that's about it.
Yeah.
Keldeo a Neopet. If we're talking Neopets.
Yeah. This is the weakest legendaries for sure.
I was gonna say the main legendaries of the game. I've always thought they looked kind of lame.
I think they are, but I almost feel like it's just a different take of what Gen 4 did because they're just big dragon behemoth things.
Yeah,
that makes sense. Like it's just that again.
It's just they don't feel. It's just they don't feel like they have any real impact. Because in Gen 4, they were fucking like gods.
Yeah,
essentially, space-time and ether realm. I don't know.
Yeah, the distortion world shit. Yeah,
it's very very cool.
Yeah, seeing the freaking Garantino wings on the spanning across the screen on the DS with Cyrus, it was iconic. So, yeah, you don't really get the. I mean, like you have N flying on one of them. I like them, not as much as 4's.
Yeah, it's
Well,
just.
I do like the legendary.
Let's see, what else is there? We should probably go through all of them.
Musicals.
We never even. I just realized, guys, we've high key forgot about a legendary, and that's called Manaphy in Gen 4. But it's fine. No one cares.
No one cares about Manaphy.
Yeah.
He's not as important as Darkrai or Shaman or anything.
No,
Yeah.
it's just because Manaphy's even though there's a full movie about Manaphy, for some reason I feel like Manaphy's forgettable.
No, I agree. I agree. Kind of is. And Fiona, right?
Fiona is the best Pokemon. Fight me.
Yeah.
I had a box of Fiona eggs. Let's go.
Yeah.
Yes. What was it? The What's the other gen? What's the other legendary? So you find the
Kyurem.
genies, you find Kyurem, you find Zekrom, Reshiram, you find the swords. There's some
Meloetta.
Meloetta, yes,
Meloetta is
but that's
good.
not a that's not a legendary.
Isn't it?
No, it's not. I
And then
don't.
there's Genesect.
Oh, it's a mythical, right?
I don't even know if it's is it considered a mythical?
Yeah, it's a mythical.
Melo.
I guess they
You
would
can
be.
tell by like the base stat total.
Yeah. If it has
I
the
think it
thing.
is. It was kind of a like an event.
It is a mythical Pokemon. You're right. It doesn't feel like one. Victini, is probably the most substantial of the mythicals that happen.
I liked Victini. I used it on my
Actually, that's
original
not
team.
true.
I didn't care about using
Genesect was a
legendaries.
fucking broken Pokemon when it came out.
Genesect fun.
Yeah, this is the gen that started really overloading. Like Gen 4 was kind of peaking on the overload of legendaries.
Yeah, this
But-
game had a lot. You're right.
But
It
this
had
game,
trios.
yeah,
Or two trios.
two trios, except one of them had it was like one of the trios was the Jonas Brothers and the random younger one. Like this generation has so many legendaries and a lot of them are kind of lame.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't feel particularly too strong about a lot of the other ones. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
just
if I had to pick
an
a favorite. I wouldn't even really know. Maybe Cobalion or maybe Zekrom. I don't know. I like Zekrom.
My favorite legendary, yeah, that's tough.
Yeah, it's
Probably Meloetta.
I'd probably pick
Meloetta's
Thundurus in his regular
Thundurus.
form or whatever.
Those forms are just.
I like
these are just
I like
fun.
how the genies look. They look really
Yeah.
cool. They have a cool presence to them.
Yeah.
Too bad. They also have Therian forms, which are whack.
Yeah. The dog and
Dog, floating genie man, and bird. Big bird.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I still have that. I actually have that Pokemon Dream Radar application. That's how you're supposed to get them in the Gen 5 games.
It's so
3DS.
so odd.
Yeah. So, with that, let's dive into starters. I picked
yeah.
Snivy.
Yeah, Snivy's the only like indisputably good one.
I would like to state that on my first playthrough, I picked Tepig. When it evolved into Pignite, I restarted the game. Now this is funny because
Pignite's pretty bad.
because now I love it because it's stupid. It
It's
it
so
is a
stupid.
terrible looking. It is such a shitty little wrestling. It looks like
Yeah,
the little.
it's
It looks like the middle school. That kid in your middle school class who took wrestling time too seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
Embor's good though. Like,
Emboar is a cool Pokemon.
yeah, he's
Yeah,
got that, he's
Embor's
got that
like, alright.
Chinese, like not samurai, but like he's got like a. He's based off like Chinese warrior, like look. He's got that big
Yeah.
armor.
Yeah.
Embor is good.
Yeah, they all do. I
Um,
think they all have like that sort of like imperialist vibe.
Well, yeah, because Samurott, obviously samurai, and then Superior, I don't know.
Superior's
But-
like an emperor.
Yeah.
Ah, that makes sense because he's got like the cloak and he's all fancy looking.
One thing I do love about this generation, which is a really slight thing, just because I care about battling, is it gives the hidden abilities,
Oh yeah.
Essentially.
Dream abilities, whatever.
the dream
Yeah,
mode
there's like that
abilities,
dream row mode or whatever.
and
where you get those, yeah.
it's fucking
Yeah.
great because it just means that a lot of Pokemon started becoming really good
Yeah.
because of ridiculous new changes.
Right.
You know, just I don't know what's a good example offhand. A lot of Pokemon got Regenerator.
Yeah.
A lot of Pokemon had Regenerator after this generation. Because of this one, I mean.
Last thing on starters, I'd say they're all, for me, they're all kind of like evenly okay / borderline good. I'm not passionate about any one line, but I don't think any of them is particularly bad. Like, yes, you have your Pignites, but then you have, like Superior and Ember are good, and I think Duat is a really good middle stage.
Duat's great.
I don't think Duat converts over to Samurott all too well.
I agree.
You go from an otter to a sea lion.
It's not a very good look.
Yeah. I like
Samurott.
I like Samurott, but that's not the next stage, really. It doesn't really.
Yeah.
I agree, but I still like it.
Very.
Samurott suffers from chestnut syndrome.
Maybe he is still an honor.
This generation suffers from a 50% success rate on its Pokemon.
It's like half good and half bad.
It's half good, half the worst.
That's where you started getting object-related Pokemon, garbage and ice cream.
You know what's funny? I like Garbodor. I don't mind Vanilla.
Me too.
But you know what
I don't mind either of those either. I'm just saying that's what.
But you know what I don't like to look at?
Pokemon.
I don't like looking at anything with Simi at the start.
Dude, you take that back.
The monkeys are just so bad. And
okay. Before Gen 5 was widely spread and they were announcing like one Pokemon a day or whatever. When it was just Pansage, I was like, this Pokemon is great. I like him. He's a little broccoli monkey.
Yeah, it's very cool.
He's great.
Until there's three of them.
He's good. And then he evolves and he gets a Pompadour. He's okay, right? Then they make the other ones and they completely devalue that entire line. Because the other two are just so much worse. So
it's funny to look at.
I like Pansage still, but yeah, no, he's not special.
Oh yeah,
he's my favorite Pokemon that is not special to me at all. I think he's just so
stupid
by the others. It's so funny.
Where's
Pansage?
So I wanted to talk. What I need to talk with Jared is he hates Hydreigon, which I think is interesting.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't hate it.
Why would you put Hydreigon in when you're just gonna make the sub-pseudo way cooler?
Are you talking about Haxorus?
Yeah.
I disagree. I think Hydreigon's cooler because I like the Hydra design way more.
I agree. I think they're both strong, but I'd give a slight edge to Hydreigon.
Yeah, Hydreigon's dope as shit, and it's a really fun Pokemon to use.
Hydreigon gives me like Happy Meal toy vibes.
That's very interesting.
Would you be upset?
I mean, to be fair, it does have sock puppet heads, so
yeah.
Which I get.
Ray, were you trying to say something?
Haxorus gives me like Garchomp vibes.
Yeah, that's fair.
Really
At the same time, that's kind of something that I think takes away from it. Because it's the most generic dragon. Again, I feel.
He's not a land shark though.
Yeah, he's like, he becomes kind of lame because there's also what is it, Dredagon?
Dredagon is horrible.
All running around. So those two together in a gen just makes them both go down to me a little.
I kind of agree because
But here's the thing, I still like both of them. They're kind of fun. I like just a single stage dragon type running around. That's kind of cool.
Yeah. So I'll go into like what I thought of the Pokemon here. So I mean, I'll start with the bad because it kind of
I forget.
comes up.
Have you played either of these generations?
I played White 2.
Okay, good.
Which is awkward because I felt like I missed out on a lot of story that like
nah,
was getting followed up.
You didn't.
But
I mean the sequels are the better game. I guess, Preston, before you go into the Pokemon, I think we've all played Gen 5 in some way. Daniel played both. Grant's played both. Jared, have you played both or just one?
Just the sequels.
Okay. Yeah, we all need to do just a plain black and white playthrough.
We all love Carablast.
Daniel, I know you love Carablast.
Thank you. He's my favorite.
So for bad Pokemon, I said just the whole generation looking through it. I felt like there's a lot of like evolution lines that have single and two like Pokemon in them that felt very unsatisfying. Like I don't know,
Yeah.
there's just like Molga flying around. There's Electros. There's Elegem, Beheim. There's
Beheem.
like
Emolga is the Pikachu now.
Beheem.
Colby Durant. What the heck's a Durant?
I love Durant.
Durant is just so inconsequential, but also just.
Oh yeah, Cryogonal. He's just
Basculin.
Cryogonal.
Okay, because I used Cryogonal, and because Grant and I did this we beat the Zygarde raid in Sword, which was really hard, and we randomly got a Cryogonal. Freaking Ice Beam just kills it, so I have a soft spot for it now, even though it's just a giant dumb snowflake ghost looking thing, even though it's only ice type, but I love it because of my experiences with it, because we also did like a locked playthrough where we picked each other's Pokemon, and I got Cryogonal and also Vanillux, and I had to use both of them, and Cryogonal was slightly better for me.
Cryogonal is great.
Yeah.
He's not particularly great this generation. He becomes really good the next gen.
Right?
No, because it's next gen is freeze dry or whatever, right?
Later on.
And it's just like
you're talking about like it gets better in 6 and 7.
yeah, it becomes way better because it gives it
becomes
freeze dryer and it becomes a great. I mean, it's a decent spinner, but
Yes.
But what is it? Yeah, this generation's so weird. Now I know you guys fucking love Joltik and Galvantula.
Those are two solid Pokemon.
I think I like them. I just don't love them. But like, it's weird. It's like weird. I know I've done it before, and I've just gone and I've X'd out Pokemon on this gen, and it's upsetting. It's like weird.
Clang, clang.
Scrolling through it, it's like
Ugh.
you're constantly stopping to look at the bad ones because there's so many.
Like Deerling.
Yeah.
That line is just like it's weird how Stantler is acceptable, but Deerling and it's Hosbuck are just so
But then you have legends in Gen 5.
like Ducklet. Like Ducklet.
I was gonna say Maractus.
You have the straight up.
Audino.
You have the straight up Caterpie clone.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
I loved him initially because he literally is just a stylized Caterpie.
Yeah. Unironically though, Sandile line, one of my favorite lines ever.
Yeah, that's one of the best ones that they've ever put out.
Crocodile, dude. I mean, come on. And Caracosta is a good one. Braviary, I like those.
I don't know if
the ones I used.
I don't know if I love it fully, just because I feel like Crocodile is really dope and Sandit is great, but I feel like the middle one is almost unnecessary. Because he's basically Crocodile from just being sitting. He's just kind of. He looks almost ready to be full. He's like fully evolved, but not. It's just.
Yeah, I mean, it's an awkward middle stage. He's got his arms crossed. He just kind of. I like his animations when he's moving around too. When you actually have him in battle, because like that was again another really cool thing about Gen 5 was like you're battling and all the Pokemon have like the idle animation.
There's just a lot of weird Pokemon in this gen.
Yeah.
That I like. It's just like a lot of them have like finals that are really cool.
Moongus.
Moongus. I mean, Moongus is a Moongus. Despite his big competitive use, I think he's a pretty lame Pokemon.
Just like Ferrothorn.
For the mushroom. Ferrothorn? I actually like.
It's another, oh my god, it's really spiky.
I was gonna say, Ferrothorn is cool because it's like a fortress, but with a little more style.
Yeah, Ferrothorn, but then it was so weak to fire, I didn't use it. Yeah.
I mean, it's broken, but...
I mean, it's grossly overpowered, but...
Has a couple good stats. There's the greatest boy, Volcarona's in the game.
Yeah.
Volcarona's great.
What a fun Pokemon, despite people raging about Quiver Dance. There's a lot of... Okay, so there's a really... One thing that I think is really weird about this generation is the psychics running around.
Yeah, there's the two.
There are.
I don't care about either.
There are. Let's see here. Let me just count this. It's in just plain psychic Pokemon, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, I think, that are mono psychic.
A little overkill.
Which is absurd because, okay, Gothaleda's cool. Runiculus is cool. Like it's cool. I don't like the Gothitels that much, but I know people like them, and I think they're fine. But at the same time, then there's the cooler Silosis line. Right next
that one's
to it.
Slightly better. That was white exclusive, right? That's how they split those up.
Something like that.
Yeah.
And then there's Muna and Mishirna.
Yeah,
which is really weird because they're treated almost like a legendary or mythical when you first find them in the story. Really weird Pokemon. The first time I interacted with it, it was a shiny. So I ended up killing it. I think.
Yeah.
It was really funny.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Because I was just like, I don't know what this is, and I don't really care about it.
It was shiny.
I can stay there.
Yeah, it's one of those weird Pokemon. Yeah, very odd gen. This gen is just really weird to me.
I agree.
I like
it's
it.
Weird, but I think it's also really good.
It's good, despite being unsettling half the time to me. It's a very interesting Pokemon game because it doesn't feel very Pokemon-y in a lot of ways.
Oh, I forgot to talk about the additional side games and also the good Pokemon.
Go ahead.
Good Pokemon. I was thinking Litwick line was memorable.
Oh, fantastic!
Everybody loves them. Yeah, they're great.
Haxorus and Golurk, I said, were some stronger ones, I guess. And then for Pokemon Generation 5 alternate things, there's the Dream World thing, there's Pokepark 2, there's Mystery Dungeon Gates Infinity.
Oh yeah.
And Rumble became a bigger thing in this generation.
And
yeah, spin-offs were a little harder than this one, but mainline I think was still good. What was I gonna lead into? Something you said about the there was the Black City and White Forest. Exclusive towns.
Very underwhelming.
Yeah, not a lot going on. I thought the city was cooler and I had white.
Yeah.
with the big tree. So
we just got one big tree, that's it. Right. And then also there's that weird you had your own plaza you could build in the game. Do you guys remember that?
Yes, very.
It was above this snowstorm place, and then beneath it this.
Vaguely.
Yeah, I always ran through that and tried to talk to a lot of random people to help boost my I don't know, streets or whatever.
Is that where you could play as an NPC and invade another person's game? Or is that something different? Because I remember Grant would just show up in my game as a Machop.
Yeah,
and run around.
That's what I was trying to say earlier about Entralink. But
yes, the wireless features were great.
Yeah.
Also, what Grant said earlier, I wanted to bring back up musicals. Man, what a time that was!
Dude, I unlocked every single accessory, and there were so many accessories. Holy crap, dude!
It was. It kind of reminds me of. Actually, we didn't talk about this in Gen 4, which is the best thing about Gen 4 is custom ball opening animations.
Yes, finally.
Oh, yeah. Also, Gen 4, we didn't talk about the
contest.
The beauty pageants. Yeah, contests. Yeah.
Those were a fun distraction, but not
those
enough.
Those were amazing. And Poffins. We didn't talk about Poffins.
Oh yeah, Poffins.
Poffins.
On my Tyranitar Gen 4, I had a master ribbon in every single one of the 5 categories, which meant I had 20.
What is it? I really this reminds me of the really weirdness that is the overly American part of the game with the studios and the sports. that doesn't.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But the worst is the sports part, because you feel like there's something to do there, and there isn't.
Yep. There's just
Um,
some football
really.
players and
You
some basketball players.
yeah,
I
you
think.
show up and they're just like, "Hello, I play football, and Pokemon are involved," and I'm like, "What?"
Yeah, actually, to be honest, that was one thing that I used every single day because they always got more powerful until you like beat the league, and then they were all very strong trainers. So
yeah, and like those in that one city. What's the city called with the electric?
Nimbasa.
Nimbasa. Yeah. That was an iconic town too.
Oh,
Excellent.
yeah.
But
Kind of forgotten though.
I would every single day go into those stadiums and just battle all the people there, even if
Yeah,
that was
same.
the only thing I was playing the game for. I wouldn't miss a day. So that was a very, very neat little function.
Yeah. Anything else to add about Gen 5? I think we pretty much covered it though.
No. It's a
Don't try
fun
to-
game.
Don't try to buy them now; they're super expensive because people are nostalgic for them. Black and White 2 are like $80 or $100. I can't remember.
Yeah, people. I mean, they sold less.
Yes, they did. Then Gen 4.
This
yeah,
is okay. So this generation, fun fact, without the sequel games, is the least, like, initial games sold the least of any generation.
Even more than 3DS, like Sun and Moon, even.
Yeah, Sun and Moon
Wow.
and Sun and Moon and X and Y both outsold it.
That's
Not by much. They're pretty damn close.
Yeah.
Like I think it's like 15.8 million for Black and White, and then like 16.1 for X and Y, and 16.3 for Sun and Moon.
That's still pretty good sales. 15 million.
Oh no,
Maybe
it's
not Pokemon-wise,
still phenomenal sales for Pokemon.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing beats the first gens because Gen 1 was like ridiculous.
Oh, that was ridiculous. Yeah,
They
it was like
sold
30
31 million between the first two games, and then
Yeah.
Pokemon, like the Pikachu edition or whatever, sold like 14.
Yeah. it was the hip craze of the time. Everybody was in on it, and now it's been around a while. Sword and Shield is like still at 20 million though. So
And now we all hate Pokemon.
yeah, exactly. But now it's doing better than. And like I said, regardless of what everyone here thinks, because obviously it's controversial. This next year for Pokemon is going to be ridiculously successful with these remakes and the open world game and the Snap, Pokemon Snap. I think all three of those games are going to sell stupid good numbers. So,
Pokemon Snap does look really solid. They've been putting out solid stuff for that. The Sinnoh and the Sinnoh stuff, those were not strong trailers because they had bugs in them. So
I think there was rendering stuff, but regardless.
I had fun with
So,
it.
do we want to vote or do we have any closing thoughts?
I don't know. It's up to you guys.
These are kind of hard. I'm not even sure what
I
I'm
like
thinking.
Gen 5. I think it's very unique and interesting, but I don't think it's the solid all-around experience that everyone's nostalgic for. People really like it and hold strong to it, but I think the criticisms and apprehension a lot of people have is very valid of this generation.
Yep.
It's very weird. The style is not very Pokemon. It's very off. It works, but I don't think it's like the best. It's my least favorite of the classic Pokemon, which I consider 1 through 5. Yeah, of the classic 2D sprite Pokemon, it is my least favorite.
Even with all the amazing sprite animations. And
The sprites look fucking awesome. It's
Yeah,
too bad
so
the
good.
game is so fucking weird, and all the characters look awful. And that's not true. Some look okay.
Oh, we didn't really touch trainer designs. I think the first black and white male trainer is one of my favorites, but I think that's because he kind of looked like me as a kid. So that's the only real reason. I don't like the boy from the sequels though. The girl in the sequels.
The girls are great. We
The girl
love
is good in
them.
the first game too. Just to touch on that,
Um,
girls are solid. So
the only game that had a bad girl was
Hilda and Rosa are great.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, let's go ahead and vote. Who wants to start us off? I guess Daniel, why don't you?
I'm gonna vote for Gen 2. I love the
Okay.
generation too much, and I also just think it's a better experience. It's older and it has nostalgic value to me, but I wouldn't even say I'm the most nostalgic for it.
That's fair. Grant.
I'm gonna say 5.
Okay. Kind of what I expected. Preston.
2, for sure.
Yeah, not surprised there either. Even though you didn't play the mainline game, so you got to go and do that now.
I didn't even play it, yeah, but I just, but just looking at Pokemon, I have to say 2, even though I did play 5.
And that's fair. Jared.
2.
Okay, that's kind of how I thought this was gonna go. So I, out of courtesy, am gonna also do 5, but 2 moves on.
But what would you pick? You just said courtesy. Is it?
I think I probably still would go with 5 just because of the sprite animations, and I do still have nostalgia for that game. I think 2, like I said, the adventure, Justin Johto is kind of hollow. It moves a little too fast for me. It's even faster in Kanto. I think going back right now, I would rather play through Gen 5 than Gen 2.
That's fair.
But Gen 2 has better Pokemon, yeah, overall. The Pokemon blend in better, but 5, I think, has the music and the visual style that I like. It is odd, and the story too is better. So just playing from the game wise, I would rather read it as 5.
Oh yeah, I see.
But yeah, no, this is the hardest one, I would say, honestly.
Of our first lineup, like
maybe even this whole thing so far. Of this like round 1 stuff, yeah, like.
Yeah, I think it's. I think I
the other ones
agree.
are going to be a little more.
I think this
maybe
is a
6 and 1
stressor.
will be
I think I have my entire thing set for the other ones,
Yeah.
so it's kind of hard to. Yeah, I did not think everyone was going to be so kind to Gen 2. Mostly
No,
because
no,
I
'cause
think I'm the only
technically-
one who really grew up playing Gen 2.
I remember I was going to.
Like, you guys played it, but, like, I always had the old games. And I had Pokemon
Yeah, no,
Stadium 1 and 2, and I played those to death
Yeah, no, I.
before
My
I knew
first
anyone else.
experience was the remakes. So I remember I was gonna be like, I'm kind of done with Pokemon. I'm not even gonna buy the remakes. A week later, I buy Heart Gold. Oh wait,
That's how it be.
The freaking Pokewalker. That's why I moved on. I changed my vote. It had the Pokewalker.
Best
How
game.
could you vote against the Pokeathlon and the Pokewalker?
Dude, the musicals.
There you go. Well, considering it's 10:30, I think we might call it here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we spent a good amount of time on this, but this was really enjoyable. So we'll have to tune back in next time. We'll do the next half, and then maybe the time after that we'll do... I mean, I would love to do a loser's bracket. Like, it'd be fun to do 5 and 7, maybe. I mean, we kind of already talked a lot about them, so maybe not. But...
I actually wonder which one I'd prefer there, which is really weird.
Yeah, exactly. Like, those are the interesting matchups.
'Cause I like-
is the loser's bracket.
Because Gen 7 does a lot right, but also does so much wrong.
Exactly.
Just so much is wrong.
If you guys want to, we can do loser's bracket too, and then we'll have the winner of the loser fight the winner if they haven't squared off already. So for some reason, if we got not in some, like let's say Gen 8 won, even though it might not win, and then we could have 7 versus 8.
There we go.
Which 7 wouldn't face 8 ever. So yeah, we'll do like a loser's bracket too.
Oh yeah. So yeah, I guess I'll stop this lovely stream.
There's round 1.
You get to, if you ever watch it, it's me painfully playing through this game's early bit. Because you just have a starting deck that's horrible. And I forgot to modify it for the first, like, 3 battles. So then I was never getting anything. And I just kept, like, drawing Flareons in my grass deck. Like, it's built terribly. You don't have any cards, so you can't, like, run anything real. It's very comical to play. Oh, it's so bad.
Very nice.
Level colorless energy. Oh yeah, girl. That's what I like to see. And I kept misclicking for a long time and not reading the instructions because I didn't care very much.
I've never actually played that game.
It's really fun. It's really dirt cheap. It's a really good little game because it's very faithful. Like it's just the card game, perfectly done for the most part. It looks really good. Weirdly enough, like this, you can tell the old sprites very well. It's odd. It's kind of grindy, but it's really fun to just kind of pick up and play occasionally.
That's what you like about Game Boy games.
No, I don't actually like that about Game Boy games. How dare you feed words into my mouth?
No, sorry. I meant you as in anybody, but yeah.
Yeah.
You know. Good stuff.
It's a very underrated title.
Yeah, I don't hear a lot about it.
Especially since I think I don't know, Preston, you don't play the Pokemon card game, right?
Not really, no.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm the only one who plays the card game, and I fucking love it. And it's a really cool little game no one ever plays. That I wish kind of got more attention.
Yeah, it's overshadowed by the games. I mean, I collected the cards for the nice pictures, but
Oh yeah.
You see my collection. It's worth millions.
But
here's the thing, though. I don't want to get into it because of how expensive it is. Or maybe just the older cards.
You can really.
Cards in
I mean, it's expensive, like playing any card game, but honestly, it's not that bad.
Yeah. I think I'd rather just buy.
You can like there's. The thing is that you can really easily jump into Pokemon and have a really strong deck without paying any real money.
I can see it.
Like I built like one of my decks that my most recent deck is really cool. It's Beheem related and it's really memey and funny.
That, yeah.
And it's really memey and fun. And I built it for under $20. And it's perfectly playable. It's really hard countered. But it's really fun to play, and it got me a lot of mileage.
That's good stuff.
Like yeah, like I got a lot of mileage out of my decks. I was not a crazy spender, but I also had like a really strong group of friends to play with.
Yeah,
which allowed me not only to get new cards when I needed them, like trade and stuff, but.
And literally, the trading card game is to play the game, not just to get the cards.
Yeah, like it was fun. But yeah, no, it was good. Well, I'm gonna stop the stream here. So the ending results were Gen 4 beats Gen 7. Gen 2 beats Gen 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
And what's cool is as well is like I guess technically the way it was seeded was because like you said, a lot of people like Gen 5. We consider Gen 5 the stronger gen of 2, so 2 is kind of the underdog there.
Oh yeah. All right.
So, even though Heart Gold and Soul Silver are considered the best in the series, so it's kind of
it's kind of hard. People they're considered the best in the series because it's the Gen 4 format with the best game for it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna stop it there.
Yeah.